I developed the coaching staff in a few ways. I think one, over time, I've tried to take a step back from micromanaging and being there all the time.
Well, where we start with looking at just their ability to manage the group and interact with the group, to treat the group of people they work with like they would treat someone they were going out to lunch with. And what I mean by that is assess the mood of the group, feeling of the group, what is their impact on the group. From there, we kind of take this stepped approach to, well, once we're capable of doing that, we're going to have them start teaching a very, low entry skill. Maybe today they're going to review just the general warm up as far as getting people ready to move. Then we're going to layer on maybe a skill specific warm up, and they'll teach that. And hopefully once they move through that process, they're capable of teaching an entire class. I think a shadow process or some sort of process where you're giving them, small snippets of responsibility at first is really important, because again, it allows them, I think, to have victories, which is really important because they'll stay invested in the process. It allows you to give them feedback in a meaningful, small enough way where neither person, the developing coach or the coach who's getting developed, can keep up and learn.
We instituted a rule, years back, of all coaches have to take classes. I think coaches taking classes is the simple, most easiest way to develop yourself as a coach. Requiring our coaches to write class plans and lesson plans is a simple way to force development and preparation.
Yeah, that's one of the big things we do with a lot of our new coaches is we expose them to our lesson planning process, and typically what we'll have them do is we'll have them prepare a lesson plan of their own. Not to necessarily be like, oh wow, you really blew it, but just to see where they're at and kind of try and get them to match our expectation, and they can learn that process along the way.
Something that we've seen in our affiliates, specifically here at Reebok CrossFit One and at CrossFit One Nation, is pushing our coaches to be able to deliver a better product to more advanced athletes. What I mean by advanced is more veteran. So if someone knows how to do a pull-up, how do I make their pull-ups better? If someone knows how to do a butterfly pull-up, how do I make them more efficient in their kip? Or how do we work on a chest to bar pull-up? How do I make a faster kipping handstand push-up? Things like that. And those are some things that we've been focusing on from development perspective. Meanwhile, how do we still get the brand new athletes not discouraged when they can barely hang from the pull-up bar? And how do you do that in the same class? So those are things that we focus on high level topics.